This is Lou from LNS Brigade. Today I'll be reading an article by NASA written by Jessica, as you can see on the left. This was published back in December 6th, 2024, so about 2 days ago. The article is titled NASA Accelerates Space Exploration, A Science for All in 2024. I'll definitely be watching this video later. That part talks about a quick, best of 2024 for NASA. But this article basically goes a bit in detail what NASA has done for a while and especially what they have done in 2024. The thing that I find interesting is right here on the bottom, where it says key 2024 NDC highlights across its mission areas include. So these are all basically what NASA has done overall. That's probably the most important things in 2024. So preparing for Moon, Mars, and we know that NASA is trying to go back to the Moon, potentially build a moon base at some point, and aiming to maybe also build a base in Mars. I'm not expecting that to happen anytime soon. Either of these things, the budget is very small. I believe it's less than 1% of the federal budget, if I'm not mistaken. Um, but basically, it says this year NASA strives toward the Artemis generation of scientific discovery at the moon while validating operations and systems to prepare for human missions to Mars. The NC advanced toward Artemis 2, the first crew, the first crewed flight on the Artemis. All right, so let's see. NASA announced results of its Orion heat shield investigation and updates timeliness for Artemis 2 and 3. Yeah, I made a video about this a couple days ago. Team delivered the core stage and launch vehicle stage adapter of the SLS Space Launch System rocket from NASA's Mitchchild Assembly, not trying to pronounce that, Mitchchild Assembly Facility in New Orleans to NASA's Kennedy Space Center in Florida and began stacking the rocket's booster segments. Kennedy Space Center is really awesome. Um, it's truly worthwhile going there. Earlier this year, I went there with my wife for the first time. It's really amazing. Never been to Florida either, so that was really cool. Engineers carry out a series of tests of the mobile launcher and systems at NASA Kennedy's launch pad 39B ahead of the test flight and added an emergency egress system to keep crew and other personnel at the launch pad safe in the case of an emergency. All right, further good news. I like how NASA's focused a lot on the safety department because we already know in the past, plenty of astronauts have died when launching those rockets into space, the space shuttles, and we need to reduce that. It's not something we want to keep happening. So I think NASA definitely has been improving a lot of the safety features of the space shuttles, the engineering prior to the space shuttles, making sure the pads are safe. They've been doing a lot. Hopefully, they keep going with that because it's needed. NASA performed key integrated testing at the Orion spacecraft that will send 4 astronauts around the moon and bring them home, including testing inside an altitude chamber simulating the vacuum conditions of deep space. Okay, that's good. That's good training. They need that. The crew and all the teams perform key training activities to prepare for flight, including practicing recovery operations at sea, as well as launch countdown and mission simulations. Okay. In February, the first moon landing through the NC's CLPS, Commercial Lunar Payload Services initiative brought NASA science to the lunar surface on Intuitive Machines Nova Sea lander, successfully capturing data that will help us better understand the moon's environment and improve landing precision and safety. Okay, that's good news. More updates on that. That's good. In August, NASA announced that a new set of NASA science experiments and technology demonstrations will arrive at the lunar south pole in 2027, following the agency's latest CLPS initiative delivery award. Good. To return valuable samples from Mars to Earth, NASA South innovated designs and announced a new strategy review team. Okay, that's good. They should do that, yes. To assess various design studies to reduce cost, risk, and complexity. Okay, nothing wrong with that. NASA's MAVEN, Mars Atmosphere and Volatile Evolution, I guess, spacecraft celebrated 10 years of exploration of the red planet's upper atmosphere. Okay, so that's good. When they've been studying the Mars upper atmosphere for a while. After 3 years, NASA's Ingenuity Mars helicopter ended its mission in January, with dozens more flights than planned. Seems to be typical thing that happens with NASA. Oops, sorry about that. Seems to be something typical that happens with NASA. Um, a lot of time with these things, they always build to only last a certain amount of time, such as the probes and robots on Mars, and it lasts for much longer than they expect. And there's always seems to do a lot more than was made for. So nothing wrong with that. That's a good thing. In September, the NASA Space Communication Navigation Team awarded a contract to Intuitive Machines to support the agency's relay systems as part of the Near Space Network, operated by NASA's Goddard Space Flight Center in Greenbelt, Maryland. Okay. NASA identified and updated a set of 9 potential landing regions near the lunar South Pole for its Artemis 3 mission. That's interesting. Capturing the current state of the moon to Mars architecture, NASA released the second revision of its architecture definition document. NASA formalized two international agreements for key Artemis elements, including with the United Arab Emirates for the Gateway airlock module, and with Japan to provide a pressurized rover for the lunar surface. Okay, so all this basically means that NASA is working with other countries and to be able to build a specific type of rover, a pressurized rover too, for the lunar surface. Very interesting. I know they've been trying to do this for a while, so that's always good news. They're working on these things. Astronauts, scientists, and engineers took part in testing key technologies, evaluating how we're needed to work at the moon, including simulating moonwalks in geologically moon-like areas of Arizona. Yeah, they do a lot of tests and trainings in Arizona. Makes sense. Practice integration between the crew and mission controllers. Participating in human factor testing. Yeah, human factor testing, you gotta do that for Gateway. And evaluated the developmental hardware. So I guess they want to make sure the hardware of the technologies are more up to date and can handle the needs of the mission. NASA worked collaboratively with SpaceX and Blue Origin on the human lunar landers for Artemis missions, exercising an option under existing contracts to develop cargo variants of the human landers. Good. In August, as part of its commitment to a robust, sustainable lunar exploration program for the benefit of all, NASA announced it issued a request for information to seek interest from American companies and institutions in conducting a mission using the agency's VIPER, which is Volatiles, I think that's how I pronounce it, investigating polar exploration rover, moon rover. A lot of really long names. The agency selected three companies to advance capabilities to a lunar Terran vehicle the Artemis astronauts will use to travel around the lunar surface. That's good. NASA completed a critical design review on the second mobile launcher, which will launch the more powerful Block I-1B version of the SLS rocket. Good. Engineers at NASA Kennedy continued outfitting the Artemis 3 and 4 Orion crew modules and received the European built Orion service module for Artemis 3. They also received several sections of the Artemis 3 and IVSLS core stages and upgraded High Bay 2 in the vehicle assembly building. I'm not gonna act like I understood a lot of that. This is very engineering stuff, so I'll do my best to explain if people have comments in the questions. I'll do some more research. So if you guys have questions on some things I'm mentioning, just you can put in the comment section, and I'll do my best to try to explain a more plain language way of what you're saying, because I will have to do my own more deep research, as I'm this is outside my field expertise. I have a social science degree. I I don't have engineering background, but I do find these things very interesting. I kind of have an idea what they're talking about, but I cannot say I fully know exactly what they're talking about. This is outside my field expertise. But if you guys have questions, put in the comments, and I'll definitely do some research and put any direct NASA stuff in it or preview journals if needed for more explanation of things. Okay, so don't worry, you can put questions, and I'll do the research on my end. NASA completed second RS-25 certification test series at NASA Stennis, not sure how to pronounce that, Space Center near Bay St. Louis, Mississippi, setting the stage for production of new engines to help power future Artemis missions to the moon and beyond. Now, last thing, the CHAPEA, CHAPEA, which is the Crew Health and Performance Exploration Analog, that's long. One crew completed a 378-day mission in a ground-based Mars habitat at NASA's Johnson Space Center in Houston. Okay, that's good. And look at this. A SpaceX Falcon Heavy rocket carrying NASA's Europa Clipper. Yeah, that was really cool. Space got lift off from Launch Complex 29A at NASA's Kennedy Space Center in Florida at 12:06 p.m. back in October 14, 2024. Very cool. I always want to see a launch of a rocket in person, but because this is a thing, technically, the jobs. There's no guarantee that when it is going to happen, it's going to happen that day. Things, mistakes happen, damages can happen to the shuttle, to the rocket, to the pads. Something can always delay the mission, so it's not always easy to see these rocket launches at the exact day, at that time. And since I don't live in Florida, it's kind of harder. So if you miss it, you kind of miss it. So even more stuff. So if you scroll down, there's a lot of stuff in this article. A lot. So more about exploring the universe. Not gonna go into much detail about these things. If you guys want to, I can also talk about more later on this other session. But it's a lot of information in this article. I will be putting in the comment section on my YouTube channel, so you guys can really check it out. But it's a lot of information. This article is one of the longest articles from NASA. This is a very long one. They have a lot of information and more things they're excited to do in the future. I just want to highlight the main stuff they did in 2024, but there are a whole bunch of more information as I'm scrolling down here. You guys can see there's a lot of information, a lot. So I'll definitely put this article in the comment section so you guys can actually read it completely. I'm definitely watching the video, which is about 3 minutes, but it's a lot of information. I will read the rest of the information on my own time, but I'll link the or post the link to the article in the comment section so you guys can read the whole thing. I just want to focus on the highlights of what NASA has done thus far in 2024. All right, guys, that's it.